and how would you sum up the first 3 days of camp so far for you personally?
I thought it's been super great. It's my last fall camp, my sixth one, so just taking it one day at a time. But so far, I think it's been a great transition. Obviously last year there was a lot of change, and coming in this year, it's probably the best 3 days to a camp that we've started. Offensively and defensively. It's not just being dominated by one side of the ball. It's really pushing each other. But it's been a blessing for sure.
What about the quarterback competition?
I'm sorry.
Sorry. What about the quarterback competition? It's like every guy's having their moments.
Yeah. I think we definitely have a great quarterback room. Obviously Sam and Jeff and me and the Navi. We have a bunch of guys in there that obviously the reps are being split up, but we're definitely trying to try to be the best person of us, but obviously compete against each other and make each other better. It's not me versus Jeff or Sam versus Jeff. It's really like if Sam's in the game, we're watching, we're taking mental reps, and if he missed something or he asks us something, we're using each other as resources. So it's been great so far.
And I know Jeff said that you've been helping him a lot, helping Sam a lot. And also going to help him get ready for Camp T next week?
Yeah, I already told him, obviously Sunday we have no practice, but I told him, you definitely got to make a run to, Walmart or something and, buy a fan, get some snacks, the necessities that these people haven't been to yet. But, we're looking forward to Camp T, and it's going to be a great time.
I mean, for people who haven't experienced it, how much is the value of the team bonding you have there maybe compared to like here in the Valley in the summer?
Yeah, I definitely think it's a place where, obviously you have no connection. There's no place to go. You're staying, you're all together. Obviously here, in the summer, you can still hang out with friends, but it's not going to be the way you can at Camp T. And it's really hard to describe unless you're there. So I'm trying to explain the cabin situation and walking down the feeling like, you just got to see it for yourselves. But, we're looking forward to that, and we can't wait to get up there.
Are there any major style differences with Arroyo and what he likes to do versus what you guys were doing last year?
Yeah, I think, Coach Arroyo obviously has run a lot of NFL type scheme, a lot of play action, really sucking up those linebackers to come up and respect the run. And you guys have seen our running back room. We have, legit, every running back can touch the ball and, have an explosive. So for us to, establish the run game, that's really going to, make the defenses stack the box and make defenses go one high. And you see the speed that we have outside with Eggs and Jake Smith and Troy, a number of guys. So it's definitely been good. Obviously last year we were dinged up, offensively, just a lot of linemen. So trying to get the ball out quick, quick game, stuff like that. So we have that in our arsenal, but it's not the only thing we have to rely on.
More two back groupings, it seems like, too. What does that enable?
Yeah, obviously that enables us to have two backs on the field. Like I said, we have a lot of running backs that are great in space and good with the ball in their hands. So if we can put both of them out there, what are you going to do? You're going to try to, put another linebacker in the game, or we can also put a receiver back there and you play a nickel, or do you play a true linebacker? So really just playing chess while the defense is playing checkers.
And Trenton, obviously, first thing I have with the offensive line, I know coaches obviously hopping on the depth and the size, but what did you notice? And what did you notice from that first thing in the patch as they were looking at the defense?
I think they were excited. Obviously the first 2 days against the defense, it's really two-step up front, so really the defense is supposed to win. But finally the offense was able to, try to get some hitting going and get the pads rocking. But I definitely thought it was, a good day back and forth. Obviously the defensive line made some plays, but later on our run game had some explosives. So it's good to see we're pushing each other because we know defensively that's probably the most chaotic defense we're going to see. And offensively, we have so much, changing and personnel grouping that the defense has to respect.
With Leaf, obviously, I know in the spring you were talking about having obviously worked with Coach Arroyo before, but how big of a boost has he been to the rest of the offense line and quarterbacks too, and kind of bridging some of the gap with verbiage or whatever that Coach Arroyo might be looking for?
Yeah, a couple years ago, Coach Thomas, the OC, he worked under Coach Arroyo, so there was a lot of similarities between the play calls. The verbiage is a little different, so for me it's kind of like a review in some ways, but definitely, finally to have a spring ball and now we're going into fall camp, it's not just brand new. Kind of picking up the same thing that he's putting down and really trying to be on the same page. As in the spring, you're just, like they say, you're drinking through a fire hose. There's just so much information and stuff coming at you, but now it's kind of a review. We did PRPs in the summer, so this is really our third time going through this script.
So is this offense very similar to Thomas's offense was?
Yeah. It's pretty much Coach Arroyo's offense. And Coach Thomas came, had some slight differences, but you'll see a lot of things. The Rams in Georgia, they all under the same tree. So it's definitely been proven to be a very high efficient offense, and now it's our turn at Arizona State to run it.
Cool.
Trenton, this is your fifth year. Obviously, you bring a lot of knowledge, a lot of leadership. Just what's your personal goal for that this season?
Yeah, for me, it's obviously just to take it one day at a time. I was just talking to Melquan, we're both going into our last fall camp, and obviously in the past, you kind of take it for granted. You're a freshman, you're a sophomore, and you're like, I have years to come. But I mean, you blink and it's your last year. So for me, it's really just taking it one day at a time. If I'm the starter, the backup, the third string, fourth string, it doesn't matter. I'm blessed to play this game and put in this platform. To raise awareness. Being a Christian man and just trying to be the best person I can be each and every day.
Did it feel like 6 years or 60 years? Everything that's gone on.
Man, it low-key feels like 6. That COVID season and obviously all the coaching changes and all the quarterbacks. I think it's 3 head coaches, 7 OCs, 21 quarterbacks. So, I mean, the numbers just continue to grow, but it's definitely been a blessing and made a lot of relationships over the years.
I think the 21 quarterbacks is just the scholarship ones too, isn't it?
I think I count everybody. I'm a walk-on as well, so I include everybody in that.
Today is the first day you guys are officially in the Big 12. Can you just talk about what you guys are anticipating and going to the conference?
Yeah, I think we're all excited. Like I said in the past, we're excited to go to new venues. Obviously playing Oklahoma State in the last couple of years, but not to play them as a rival. In the same conference. But going to Kansas State, playing the Kansases and the BYU's and the UCFs. That'll be cool. It's just new experiences, and I think it's great for recruiting. We're going to be playing all over the country, so we can get some Florida guys out here and. Tell them, you'll be back home in a couple of years and get your family out there. So I think it's definitely going to be a big plus in everything we do.
Sam and Jeff are super mobile. More of an element than last year, I think. What does that enable within the offense?
Yeah, I definitely think that adds a runner to the scheme. Defenses have to account for them, and definitely, Coach Arroyo is going to, drop different things for different quarterbacks. Jeff's a bigger guy, stronger guy, so you may see some more QB power with him, and some more rollout with Sam and I getting us outside the edge. But like I said, Coach Arroyo has been doing this a long time, and everybody has their strengths and weaknesses, and it's up to Coach Arroyo to play to our strengths.
When you're learning a new playbook, what process do you go through to make it most efficient where you can take in all that information and then apply it?
Yeah, for me, I think, just been around the game so long, coming up with my own playbook when I was like 3 years old, 4 years old in kindergarten. And really just, when I see a playbook, it's really, I get the formations down first. I want to be able to line up and know where people are lined up. So for me, it takes me a couple days. And then, I get into my protections. And then concepts-wise, I have a big whiteboard at the house. And, I can just close my eyes and try to envision everything, draw it up. So the more repetition, everything like that. Jeff was just asking me yesterday, like, are you having trouble with the signals and stuff like that? I'm like, man, I've been doing it so long. Especially you got to be able to pick up on it quickly. With me, I don't have the strength of, being the biggest, fastest guy, but I'm given the ability to outsmart people, and I try to use that to my advantage any way I can.
What was the best play for you?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
What was the best play for you?
Best play would probably be a reverse where I could run or throw, and then I have Coben, he'd run a corner, so I'm reading that corner. If he gets back in thirds, I take off and run. If they step up to me, I have Coben in the corner. If the man follows me, I'm rolling out right. Trayson's running a wheel backside. Kind of like 3-man weave. So whatever you choose, you're wrong.
You mentioned in the past too that you're taking an interest in being a coach after ASU.
Sir.
So in what ways have you tried to soak in information from Arroyo?
Oh yeah, 100%. I definitely have been blessed to be around a lot of great coaches. Obviously, with Coach Dillingham and Coach Arroyo, offensive geniuses. Not only do they coach offense, but they coach defense as well. They break down defenses and why they call this play call. So for me, it's just, I was just cleaning out, my house the other day. I think I have like 14 playbooks and 15 notebooks of just notes and notes and notes. And obviously, I'd love to stay here and work under Coach Dillingham and Coach Arroyo in the future, and help lead Arizona State to a lot of great victories in the future.
When you talk about the camp, but obviously there's 6 staff and stuff, the excitement, how do you feel from obviously the excitement of not being able to play last year, making a big play today, but just, is it, how they can kind of calm down as a team a bit?
No, I'm so excited. Jake Smith and I, we've been competing against each other for years, on 7-on-7. Obviously, he's an Arizona boy, so a lot of these guys from out of state, they don't know. Like, Jake Smith wasn't, Gatorade Player of the Year for Arizona. He's Gatorade Player for the whole country. So for him to finally get back, he's healthy, he's hungry, and what he did today is just a glimpse of what he's going to do in the season, and I'm just praying for him to have a great year.